before you go, I need to ask you about your New York Jets and what are your expectations for the season with Justin Fields? We have a mutual friend, and he's pretty excited about the Jets this season. So, give me your take.
So here's the deal. This friend that we're talking about, he sometimes think I'm way too crazy and absurd with my picks, but I'm rational here, okay? Here's the truth. The Jets last year was an absolute dumpster fire. I don't need to go back and talk all about what happened. Looking forward, this is what needs to be done. They started the year hiring Aaron Glenn as their head coach. I know there were a lot of other options out there. I know, Ben Johnson was available. The thing is, some of the Bears, some of these other teams already had their coaches locked up because they had a lot more selling points, right? The Bears' job was way better looking because they had Caleb Williams, a fresh, rookie quarterback that has that potential, right? The Jets, if you want to coach the Jets, you're coming into an organization that not only is cursed, but you're going into a team where now they don't have a quarterback, right? Aaron Rodgers leaves. You don't have anything, right? I mean, you have Garrett Wilson, you have Brees Hall, but outside of that, it's just kind of like, let's put all of Rodgers' friends out there and we'll call it a day.
Right.
So of course they all leave, right? You have Devontae Adams leave. I think Old Man Cobb is still there. I don't know, maybe they cut him, but they have all of these old Packers who are just, for what reason, right? There's no reason for them to be there. So I feel like this year, looking ahead into the season, last year they finished 5-12. This year, I'm really hoping, you can't go 500 anymore, right? So I was hoping for at least one over 500. In my book, that would be amazing. 5 wins last year was just absurd for, what the hype was behind them. But this year, if we can get to 8 wins, 9 wins, that's all I want. If we can show some real progression, but at the same time, if they end up with 5 wins again, I would understand, right? If they have 5 wins again, you have Justin Fields, you have the new coach, you have some new drafted players. The one thing that's very important, which I hope Aaron Glenn establishes, is to use Justin Fields as a dual threat quarterback, right? When watching Justin Fields at Ohio State, he was balling out, throwing, running. If the Jets can go away from the traditional pocket passer offense and they do that dual threat, I think the Jets will be a really great team. You don't need to do, gunslinging 50-yard throws every time. I feel like if the Jets can just establish a sustainable drive, the team will be really good. Let's use Garrett Wilson on 5 or 10-yard routes, right? We don't need to have him go 30 yards from then to come back, right? Let's have him run 5 or 10 yards. Let's really power the run with Brees Hall. And honestly, you can even let Justin Fields run the ball too. I mean, let's really just use all of our players. So I feel like the offense will be a lot different, and I hope Aaron Glenn can change the way that they're establishing drives, because last year I felt like all I'm doing is watching them kick the ball on 4th down. The defensive side, the only person I want to highlight here, no one has been talking about him as much, but Malik Moore from Alabama, I believe. Safety, I think he's going to be huge on our defense. I felt like last year the defense was just getting gashed left and right. Which was crazy because, we had a lot of returning players, but they all ended up not being good. Some of them left. We did have a couple new additions, but mainly want to emphasize Malachi Moore is going to be huge in the safety position. And, like I said, more to come. The next couple days here, training camp will be starting here. We're going to take a look at the team. We're going to really see those really nice social media clips of Justin Field throwing dots every play without the pads on. So, no, it'll be good. I feel like, if we ever talk, NFL again, maybe it could be, after a couple weeks of the football season. But right now, just kind of staying neutral with the takes. I just feel like we need to see some product on the field first, because I can see where Aaron Glenn is looking to take them, but this year's a huge year to just start building it and maybe gaining some player confidence going into next year, which if this year they go close to 500 or a little bit below, I feel like next year needs to be a winning season or at least a chance to make a playoff run.
Well, NFL's right around the corner. Steven, thanks for coming on. We'll be talking to you in a couple weeks about NFL. So look forward to it, buddy.